This has to be the world's most perfect and beautiful flower, in my opinion. It's almost impossible to not love water lilies. To find some for my garden, I'm headed back to the experts in everything water garden, Woodvale Fish and Lily Farm, and my good friend, Calinda Anderson. Calinda, what are your favourite, let's say your top 5 water lilies?
Well, it's really hard because I think everyone has its own characteristics that make it really quite beautiful.
Yeah.
But if you had to put me on the spot, I would say Comanche Orange would be my number 1. It's a tricolour, great performing flower. Second, Mrs. Martin Randig.
Okay.
Big purple tropical.
Right.
Third would be St. Louis Gold, another tropical that has such a wonderful fragrance.
Right.
And then for 4 and 5, I'm going to pick Charles de Merville and Gladstone because they're the quintessential, typical hardy water lily that you see in all the magazines and the pictures and all the ones that we want to have.
Now, Calinda, I'm a big fan of tropical water lilies. I love those big, long flowers. Have you got some to show off?
I have lots of spectacular ones, Trevor. Let's go and have a look.
All right, sounds good. Tell me, Calinda, what is the difference between a hardy and a tropical?
Well, it's mainly a delineation of the growing season. So hardies will grow and start growing around July, August.
Yep.
And then they'll start to decline around March, April. This is Perth, that is.
Yep.
And then the tropicals will be November, December, and they'll flower right through to June, July. Tropicals tend to be a bigger plant with a flower that sits proud above the water, and they will often have a perfume.
Okay.
Whereas hardies generally will sit, the flower will be flush with the water level.
Yep.
And they don't have as many patterned leaves and striking colours as the tropicals do. The main difference too, that the blues and the purples are all in the tropicals, and the hardies will have more the reds.
Right. Basically, once you've selected them here, what do people do when they take them home?
Well, if you come and visit us at Woodvale, it'll already be a potted plant, and it really is a case of just taking it home and putting it into your pond or into your pot. It will go through a bit of transplant shock, so it can take 3 to 4 weeks to, you know, really set its new leaves. Because interestingly, water lilies, the flower and the plant that you see today, within 4 to 5 weeks, it'll be all new leaves, all new flowers again, which is why they're such a heavy feeding plant, because they're just regenerating themselves all the time.
Which is why feeding is so important.
Very important.
They are absolutely beautiful plants. I love the blue flowers. This is Blue Beauty, one of the very best as far as I'm concerned. But look, you know, there's so many different types. And the thing to remember is they're incredibly prolific. They produce huge amounts of foliage and also flowers, which is why you do have to support that growth with a fertiliser. And this is the kind of fertiliser you would use. These little tablets, you'd pop 1 or 2 per pot, and it'll just support that massive growth. And if you're wondering what the tablet is, well, believe it or not, it's Traforte technology. This is the Traforte tree planting tablets. They do an amazing job with all flowering and foliage water plants. If you want to get more information, maybe order one to be delivered to your doorstep, check out Woodvale Fish and Lily Farm's website.